Hi guys, how are you? Jumbo, happy new year. Yes, I don't think it is too late to say happy new year. Yes guys, I think it is still valid to say happy new year. This is the first time actually you guys are seeing me on this channel since we crossed over to 2024, so why not say happy new year? Welcome and welcome back to my channel guys. Oh my goodness, I know I have lost you, but thank you because of sticking around. Thank you because of not giving up on me when I have not been around that often. You have still stuck around on this channel and I do not take that for granted. So thank you very much guys. I love you all. Thank you because of your support. Thank you because of helping this channel to grow, and without you guys this channel wouldn't be there. So thank you for sticking around. If you are new here, you are very welcome. Yes, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do not forget to hit that red subscribe button. Consider subscribing. If you already like what you are seeing, consider subscribing and join Team Baraka. Make yourself comfortable and feel at home. Thank you guys again because of those who have actually contacted me asking, Sharon, are you okay? What's up? We've not been seeing you. Is everything okay? Yes guys, I have been okay. Thank you for reaching out. I do read your DMs, but sometimes I actually get very busy because apart from doing YouTube, I also have a full-time job, and at the end of the day guys, you know, it is what pays. Kwa hivyo, if YouTube is not paying that well, I have to hustle somewhere else, and that is the reason why you don't see me that often. But I still like doing what I do. I still like coming to update you with any information that I get that I feel is relevant for you guys, and I will continue doing that because it is my passion, and I do this very passionately, not for the pay, but just because I want to make you aware and you informed. So as you're making the decisions that you're making to leave your country of origins to come to the UK, you are making an informed decision. And in today's video, I have a very important update. So you will see from the video description and also the thumbnail the reason why I want to update you with this information. And what I want to tell you guys is, for those of you who have followed me a long time, you know that I normally talk on this channel ways on which you can get a COS to come to the UK. I've given you loads and loads of tips. If you haven't seen my previous videos and you're here, please go back and watch the previous videos that has tons and tons of information, wealth of information that is absolutely free, and you can use that information to apply for jobs here in the UK. Now the reason why I actually wanted to come here is I feel responsible. After I have given you all the information on how to come to the UK, I also feel responsible to come here and tell you that getting that COS guys is not the end. There is more that you'll be expected to do. There is more that is going to be expected of you, following the rules and the conditions of the visa that you have been given, for you to be able to maintain that visa once you are in the UK. Now if that is you and you would like to know this information, do not go anywhere, stick around and I will give you that information guys. And if you feel that this is not information for you, but you feel this information is relevant for somebody else, share with them. Let them know what they need to do and what to expect once you have landed in the UK with a COS. Don't go anywhere guys, stick around. Yeah, so the information that I want to share with you guys, and you really need to be very careful, is when you get the COS, like I have said and detailed in many of my videos, it comes with a condition that is called no recourse to public funds. That means you will not be entitled to claim any public funds that people in the UK would normally be entitled to, those who have leave to remain, or those who are citizens, or those who are here with documentation to allow them to claim the recourse to public funds. You will be in a different category, so you'll not be able to claim any of that. The only thing that this COS visa allows you to do is to work. You work, you pay for your bills, and if you have dependent families, you'll be able to bring your dependent family members, you'll be able to bring your children, you'll be able to bring your spouse with that. Your children will be able to go to school for free. You'll be able to get free dental and health care from your GP. And it's actually not free because you pay for the NHS surcharge, but once you're here, your children will not be paying for the GP, they will not be paying for any medication. You'll be able to get that for free. And for yourself, the only thing you pay for is medication, which is what everybody else who is here in the UK does if they are working. Okay, so those are some of the advantages. Now, one of the clauses that you need to be very, very careful when you get to the UK, and a lot of you I have seen are falling into this trap, is coming on a COS and then ending up not working with the employer that brought you to the UK. So you've got the COS. A lot of people are telling me they've got the COS, but my employer is not giving me enough hours. I thought that I'll be getting enough hours, but I'm not getting enough hours. Therefore, you start sinking into debts. You start falling behind to pay your bills because you're not getting enough hours. You're not able to pay for your accommodation, you're not able to pay for your bills. And if you have children, it is even worse, because then that could account to you being neglectful of your children. This is the reason why I'm telling you, before you sign that COS with your employer, could you please make sure that you have a contracted working hours? So if your employer does not give you the contracted hours as per your COS, then you'll have a case to argue, and you'll be able to take them to the employment tribunal, or you'll be able to seek legal advice on that, so that your employer can be liable for that. A lot of you are coming here to the UK and you are struggling. You have children, you have your spouses, but you don't have enough money for your upkeep, you don't have enough money for your children because you're getting less hours, and that makes you become destitute in a foreign country. Some of you don't even have family members, you don't have friends, and what some of your friends or some people are advising you is that you can go to the local authority. If you have children, the local authority is going to take care of you, your children. They'll give you an accommodation, they'll give you money, like yada yada. Let nobody lie to you. Let nobody lie to you that the local authority is going to take care of you and your children if you fall into destitution. Because guess what? There's so many people that have come to the UK on COS. You think the local authority have a budget to take care of every person that is coming here and is finding themselves destitute? No, they don't. So I have had a few cases where people are being told, oh, the local authority has a duty under Section 17 to provide you with accommodation and to provide you with money. It is true, but there are laws that the local authority will also have to look at. And one of the things that the local authority will be looking at is how you came to the UK. If you came to the UK on that COS, are you using your COS in accordance with the conditions for that COS? Are you working because your employer brought you to the UK to work? Are you working? If you're not working, then your employer will need to report to the Home Office that you are not working. You came to the UK and you are not working, and then the expectation is that you will need to go back to your country of origin because you're not using your visa the way you should be using it. You will be in breach of your visa. If you get arrested, you could get deported. So that's why I'm telling you guys, you need to be very careful. Don't just jump into those dubious employers that are giving you a COS. You come here to the UK and they only give you a few hours and you're not able to sustain yourself. You'll find yourself in lots more trouble than where you were before you came into the UK. And I'm telling you, the local authority, the most they can do if you have children is to support you to pay for a flight ticket back to your country of origin, because the local authority will not be able to sustain you and your family if you're not getting enough hours from your employer. Imagine how many people are here in the UK that would be expecting to be provided the same support by the local authority. They don't have a budget that is enough to cater for everybody that is coming and requesting Section 17. So be very careful before you come to the local authority with your children. saying that the local authority has a duty. They actually will do assessments, but that does not mean you're going to be given any financial assistance. Of course, there's going to be things like human rights assessment to look at whether it is safe for you to travel. You may have very small children, you may be heavily pregnant and you cannot travel immediately. They'll look into all that, they'll consider all that. But if you are neglectful of your children and you're not taking care of your children and you choose to remain in the UK, then the local authority has a duty to intervene and remove your children so that they are not suffering. And that decision for you to put your children above anything else is a parental decision. It is safe maybe to go back to your country of origin and then restart again, or you work with your COS in accordance with the rules that have been given under the condition of the COS if you want to remain in the UK. Some people are telling me they are going to find a different COS sponsor. It is possible. It is not that easy, and this is the reality. So if you're thinking that, well, if my employer does not give me enough hours, I'm going to find another employer and I'm going to leave this employer, it's not going to be that easy to switch from that employment from one employer to another employer, because guess what, they will require reference and they will contact your previous employer, and if you haven't been in work with your previous employer, where are you going to get that reference, my friend? Where are you going to get that reference? So be very careful, and also do not breach the conditions of your COS. And the other thing you need to remember is, once you breach the condition of the COS, usually you'll get 2 years, 3 years. If you come to a point where you need to extend that duration with the Home Office because you want to continue working with the same employer, you might have a problem because you haven't actually fulfilled the criteria for your COS in the first sector that they gave you. Therefore, they will look at you as somebody who has breached the condition of the visa, and it can get cancelled. And if your visa gets cancelled, then you're technically illegal in the UK. It is either you go back or you stay here illegally, and if you get arrested, then you do risk being deported. And I would not want anything like that to happen to you guys. The last thing you want is to be deported back to your country, because you'll ruin your record. You'll not even be able to come back. So it is best, my advice, it is best, go back. If you are here and your employer is not giving you enough hours and you find yourself destitute in the UK, it is easier, go back and start afresh again rather than wait to be deported, because once you've been sent back, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to come back. And you can come back a second time. There's nothing stopping you from reapplying and coming back to a different employer for the second time. Now, I understand some people have borrowed money from families, from friends, to come to the UK, and maybe things have not worked out the way you wanted them to work. I do understand the dilemma. I do understand the dilemma that you will be in. However, for your own sake, for your own continuity of you being able to come back to the UK again, or be able to reapply and get another COS, please do not breach any conditions. No recourse to public funds is a very hefty thing that has been put on those visa conditions, and we are finding so many families are coming here and they are struggling and they're expecting the local authority to support them, but it doesn't work like that. The other thing, if you come here and you find yourself being a victim of domestic violence, and that is another thing, do not come to the UK and end up fighting, guys. No, don't come here and then start engaging yourself in domestic abuse cases in the UK, because guess what, you will also not get any support, regardless of whether you have the COS, a work visa, or not. Once you find yourself in that situation, it's going to be very, very difficult. And your visa is very different from somebody who has come here on a spouse visa. It's different from somebody who has come here on a student visa. It's very different from people who are here seeking asylum. The conditions are different. You may not be able to get what is called a DDV concession. So this is where you can get your no recourse to public funds lifted so that you can claim benefit if you find yourself a victim of domestic violence. You don't have that option with the COS. Unfortunately, you don't. The rule and the law has to be followed is not there at this particular point. I don't know, maybe that's something that needs to be looked into, because the amount of families that I have experienced that are here and they are destitute, they are suffering because of a breach on their employer's part, which makes them then be in breach of their own visa, is overwhelming. It's just a lot, and I know this is across many different authorities here in the UK will attest to what I am saying. So be very careful, guys. Use your visa in accordance with what you got it for. If you're not working and you came here on a COS, it is easy for you to go back and then maybe restart again. So not a very good video for the new year, the very first video that I am doing, but it has just become too much, and I thought if I don't come and share this information, it will keep reoccurring and reoccurring, and you guys are going to continue making mistakes after mistakes, and it is good to know before you come. What will be expected of you is that you come on a COS, you work with that employer. If you do wish to change the employers, you will need to make an application whilst you are still in that employment so that you can do that transition easily. You don't abandon the employer that brought you here and then go look for another employer and expect that that transition is going to be smooth. It won't. But you can still change, and I know a few people that have managed to change the COS, but they have managed to change that because they have already been in employment, so that transition from one employer to another has been a smooth transition, as opposed to when you quit working, stay for many months, you're here in the UK, you're destitute, and then you start looking for another employer to offer you that sponsorship certificate. It's not that easy, guys. All right, so that's it. I wanted to share with you. Thank you because of taking time to listen to my videos. Again, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing to my channel. Let's grow this channel to come and do this thing full time. But as for now, I will keep posting the updates as when I get the information. I'm not doing this full time, but it is something that I have a passion for, and I want you to make the right decisions as you come to the UK. And until I come back with another one, for now, guys, I say Baraka.